High Priestess, and I'm back with another quick channeled message, and I feel inspired that I'm about to put this message out. By the way, for patrons, if you guys can stay awake, tonight we'll be doing the maybe we'll do spiritual warfare tonight, and then we'll do the what do you call this thing? Shadow work by the weekend. For the spiritual warfare, you guys have to also understand that, like, I get the downloads of all the activities and different meditations too. And those meditations, those are not just, that's not small potatoes right there. Not small potatoes right there. So I just wanted to talk about this spiritual bypass. And it's time to boss up and be real light workers, because this shit is getting, this is about to be go time, and the energy that I'm channeling for this message that I'm going to put out is Regulus the Regulator and Hiroshima energy. The funniest thing is, the last time that Regulus, that star, was in the 4-point position with the Royal Cross with Aldebaran, right? Linares, Formaldehyde, was when we had Hiroshima. It's time to unite. It's time for there to be some type of cosmic implosion. And I'm not talking about what Hiroshima and what happened, and what happened in Japan and the horrific aftermath of that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the concept of it's nuclear. You see what I'm saying? And with this spiritual bypass, a lot of people, their solar plexus is disenfranchised. This is going to be high vibrational as well. Aries and Chiron energy, the opposite side of Chiron, which is the healing. And there's a lot of disenfranchisement of the solar plexus because of generational issues, because of karmic energies, because of, what your ancestors went through, being restricted, experiencing injustices, things like that. That tampers with the energy fields for several generations to come, and many lifetimes too, if you're not careful and if that stuff is not cleaned up and edited, And I'm putting this message out because I feel like for a lot of y'all, you got to get comfortable being in that warrior energy, because it's, like I said, the wheat is going to be separated from the chaff. So why are you worrying about a coward trying to tell you how to be a warrior? We're not going to do that. No. This is the instruction manual. These are the keys to the streets, the book, so that okay, moving forward, this is how the energy needs to be manifested on planet Earth. Yeah, with the spiritual bypass, when you're a spiritual person, some of the times you say, well, if I do this, then I'm bad. Or I'm supposed to be loving light, and let's talk it out, and let's be nonviolent in our communication, and let's try to kumbaya, things like that. But in certain situations, you already know it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Damned if you don't, then you deal with generational trauma. Yeah, with the trauma transmutation energy and disenfranchisement of your solar plexus chakra. Yeah, you got the chakras right here, solar plexus and third eye. Damned if you do. Okay, well, shit, you may make an enemy. People are not going to like you, but at the end of the day, you leave intact. With your respect, right? And with the fact that you understand that this is what it means to be a real spiritual warrior. See, this is the thing. When you're a real light worker, people think it's, just loving light and meditating and playing with crystals and looking cute and putting like different trinkets in your hair and dressing the look and saying nice things. No, it's not. Not all the time, especially when you're dealing with demons and principalities. And this is one of the things that religion did. It made people docile. Because I said, look, they sacrificed this person, and, he was so calm and nice about it. No. People don't know that even afterwards, there was things like the Maccabean Wars fought to preserve, the ability to be a part of the different religions and things like that. There was infiltration going on all over the place. There are people who were still engaging in resurrections in different ways by continuing to be able to practice their faith and share it and all that different type of stuff. I'm not saying get away from basic spiritual principles, but at the end of the day, I am saying if you're really about this light worker situation, then you have to get on the train, get with the program, period. And that's Chiron and Aries energy in a high vibrational aspect. How am I acknowledging the power that I have and the power that someone else may have, and flex my power only when power is flexed upon me for low vibrational reasons? How can I be authentic in my leadership, high vibrational? Strategic as well when you're dealing with principalities and low vibrational energies. Because I'm a Libra moon, but I'm going to say the other side, the sister sign to Aries, is Libra. And Libra energy is like balance and harmony and things like that. But sometimes you do have to go to war, period. Especially when principalities are infringing. And that's where the whole thing of spiritual bypass comes in. Spiritual bypass is basically when, I'm spiritual, so I'm not going to say anything, or I'm not going to do anything, or I'm going to do this, or stick up for yourself, put your best foot forward, set boundaries. Archangel Michael has a sword for a reason. Yeah. You understand that? Sekhmet is a lion-headed figure. Even when we talk about these different like entities and things like that, and or deities or gods or goddesses and things like that, they went to war as well too. Is the devil going to come to you like, well, I want to beef with you, so let's sit down and kumbaya about it and have a conversation? No, the devil's going to do what the devil does: steal, kill, destroy, cause havoc and chaos. So then you better be ready in your spiritual leadership and authority to be able to combat that, period, by any means necessary. And you know, the funny thing is, Malcolm was I believe Malcolm had Aries in his chart. Maybe an Aries moon or Aries Mercury. But I know he was a Taurus Gemini cusper. We did do his, and this is one of the things that came up in his, when I did the ancestor adventure for him. When I did the ancestor adventure for him, and he had brought this message up in terms of like, it's really time to get serious about your works, about your spiritual practice, about this energy, even if it's just setting boundaries within, internally, and letting that radiate out into your energy field. I'm pulling up Malcolm's chart because I just feel like, I don't know why I feel like I'm about to give a message right now. Omaha, Nebraska. Ooh, child. Crazy. Yeah. No more spiritual bypass. You know, another thing too, you know, spiritual bypass too is not being able to have difficult conversations or calling something for what it is. You know, I do talk about race on my channel a lot, and I get a lot of flack from it, mainly from people of color who have no critical consciousness about race, and as well, I'm going to say it, from European people who are uncomfortable with talking about race. The only reason why you would be uncomfortable with that conversation is because you haven't done your healing work, and you're a narcissist, because racism is a form of narcissism. Please. And it's gaslighting when we have these conversations because they are prevalent to our life, and they try to bypass them. Oh, that's a part of the system, because last time I checked, in 2020, how many black people did we find swinging from trees? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's little things like that. Or when we talk about karmics and people say, send love to the karmic and things like that. Yeah, I get that in the grand scheme of things. Light that ass up with the violet flame. That's love. With no malicious intent, violet flame it. But don't try to go into trying to understand and sympathize and all that. Violet flame it. Neutral energy. Yeah. Malcolm was an Aries moon. So I know I'm channeling something right now. It comes to a certain point where you have to be not thuggish, but you have to just be, this is the line right here. And it can't be crossed. And that will also fortify your energy field. And fortify your aura. $222 in the chat. I know I'm right on point. I know I'm right on point. Dear bright and well-loving ancestors, what messages do you have regarding this spiritual bypass? Yeah. What messages do you have regarding spiritual bypass? You got the mother energy. For some of you guys too, I feel like what this is saying here is we learned through the conditioning of genders. For some people, this is what a man is supposed to be like. This is what a woman is supposed to be like. You know, you're supposed to kind of be like docile and quiet or something like that. For some of you guys had opposite parents who were kind of rowdy and stuff like that. So you try to do the opposite because you saw how that created instability. But you have to come to a line in the middle and balance it all out. Adaptability. Yeah, you have to learn how to adapt to a Pentacles energy. You got to learn how to balance that out. And that's what a lot of this Chiron and Aries energy is teaching us right now too. Where are we putting our energy in regards to when it comes to having to tap into that warrior spirit? How are you channeling it? That's another thing as well. Channeling it for the proper reasons. Because remember, Aries energy is also the Tower. What messages do you have? This spiritual bypass. Learn how to adapt. This is the integration of after major transformations. Because when you stay in that spiritual bypass energy, you can't grow. You become childish. socially, emotionally, psychologically, yeah, morally and ethically, yeah. So then you start to bypass things. Well, oh, love and light. No, it's not all love and light. Sometimes it is darkness and chaos and confusion. And if that's the case, then what do I know that's going to cut through all of that? The sword of truth. So then if I have to swing that sword, what does that really mean then? What is that all entail? Having to swing that sword of truth to cut through the bullshit and chaos as a real light worker. Because like I said before, Archangel Michael has a sword. Dear bright and well-loving ancestors, what messages do you have regarding the spiritual bypass? It's a generational thing. What messages do you have? Yeah, you got balance right here. Like I said, you have to balance that energy out. There's a time and place for everything, yeah. But the spiritual bypass is what's kind of like blocking folks from being able to come into their deeper capacity as light workers. Even with like, think about Kuan Yin energy. It's very compassionate, loving, yeah, and watery. But remember, water can be as cold as ice. Water can drown you. But water is also very subtle. Even with the Kuan Yin energy, it's even like, remember when she was talking about clearing out those psychic waters? What do you need to clear out those psychic waters? Sometimes you need that sword to cut the cords. Sometimes you need that fire, that heat to dissolve all the debris and the psychic dust and shit like that. Let's keep it all the way real here. So what does that mean when I have to tap into that? Let's get into this. And you know, one thing is like people like to call themselves divine feminine, but when they see what spiritual warfare looks like, and you know, oh, that's not. Then what is it supposed to be? Bubbles and rainbows? And wearing pink or purple and like light colors or something like that all the time? Then what is it really then? Because remember, we were given these spiritual powers and authority and things like that for a reason. So why do you think that you may have some type of spiritual authority or favor or blessings? Because that's what it really means to be a divine feminine. But then when it comes to standing fully in your light worker power, warrior power, it turns into a problem. Clarify, mother. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, rewriting the future. Yeah. Some of you guys saw your mother be docile. Some of your mom saw your mother be thuggish. Some of you guys saw her be just balanced, knowing when to set boundaries and knowing when to just chill on some stuff. Yeah, there's a time and place for everything. Yeah. Sometimes shit has to get nipped in the bud, period. And that's Regulus energy, Regulus the regulator, with the scythe, cutting out anything that's a blockage to spiritual development and advancement. Sometimes that signal is to get put out into the atmosphere. So that energies can be made aware where the boundary is. Because once you've set your boundary and then when it's crossed, then you already know karma. You see? And that's what it means being a real light worker. That's why like you don't have to sweat about like, oh, well, maybe I should or maybe I shouldn't. Nah. Because once you set the boundary and then it's crossed, then you know karma comes. Period. Because also being a divine feminine knows that you're under the rulership of the 105 to 108 laws of the universe at all times. Clarify adaptability. You got soul family calling your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Yeah. You're not the only one though. Remember, you're not the only one. It says, look, transformation. Things are changing at a deep cellular level. Some of you guys are going to go through a transformation. And you're going to get more into that light worker energy and know what it means to set boundaries and have to apply your sword sometimes. And that's okay. Some people may not like it. Oh, fucking well. Yeah. It's time to get solidified. Yeah. So if I say, okay, I want these abs, I want these muscles and stuff like that, because I know that it's going to bring me strength and endurance and improve my health, then there's things that I need to give up and things that I need to do and put in place. What's the balance? It says share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution. Wow. Wow. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Yeah. The universe is calling on you to come out of the cave. Share your voice. Release persecution. Period. That's also Aries energy too. Set your dominance. What do you have dominance over? Claim authority over self. I claim full authority over self and nobody else. Nobody else has authority, period. And anybody else that thinks that they have authority, they're going to be taught a serious lesson with Chiron being in Aries. A serious lesson in terms of what do you really mean by that? And this is what the universe is trying to tell you. Balance is coming. You're going to be instituting balance, and other individuals who've been out of the low vibrational energy are going to be instituting balance, whether they like it or not. This is the realignment, the adaptability. It's time. The transformation is here. And fuck what other people call it because they don't have to go through it. Because remember, not everyone don't have the same battles. But trust divine people do, because for who much is given, much is accepted, and much is stalked, harassed, coveted, etc. Right? Disrespected, etc. All of that. Just because of the energy and the rank. The spiritual bypass can't exist anymore. Share your voice, come out of the cage. Don't just sit there, well, I'll just swallow it, and then getting hella mad and building up resentment and then blowing up years later. Nah. Keep it hella real in the now. Nip it in the bud as it's happening. Let's bring it down. Draw the line, set the boundary. And if you can't follow that, then these consequences are going to be brought down. Period. Because, a lot of society too operates in like lawlessness and some type of organized confusion. Mainly just more or less just confusion. Where individuals think the ability to set boundaries and have authority of themselves belongs to somebody else. Somebody's supposed to give them the right to do that. Or someone else is going to give that to them. No. Or they try to take it from other people and validate themselves by taking from others. That's how they validate like their authority over themselves and their power. We're not about to do that no more. None of those fucking Jedi mind tricks. Dear bright and loving ancestors, what messages do you have regarding spiritual bypass? Spiritual bypass, please. What messages do you have? What messages do you have? Spiritual bypass. Some of you guys are going to have to make hard decisions and things like that in the near future. Look at you got Bridget, inner strength. Look, inner strength. Heart chakra as well as solar plexus chakra. Really getting grounded in the reality of what is and who you are and what you will and what not accept and being okay with that. It may feel counterintuitive because maybe you're so used to this generational disenfranchisement and these ancestral patterns of maybe conceding or not saying anything or being scared a little bit or like, oh, they're going to call you difficult or things like that. You remember like, I don't know if you guys recently saw this with Will Smith and Janet Hubert, the first Aunt Viv. And she was talking about how Will Smith actually ruined her career because she would set boundaries with him. And, he was a young actor, cute, whatever, and he would do whatever. And I guess, like, they had maybe discrepancies or something. And he, like, would tell people that, oh, she's difficult. And she was talking about how that, like, ruined her career, because of her being a black woman and being called difficult and all those different type of things. And there's also the ancestral and social connotations, too, in terms of standing up for yourself in certain situations. Some of you guys live in the South, where it's still segregated in some places and it's harder for you to stand up for yourself, right? Some of you guys are even with your own people and it may be hard to stand up for yourself because of just the deep levels of conditioning and a societal programming and trauma that's there. Some of you guys may live in areas that are maybe very much religious or are isolated and things like that, or very close-minded, and that's impacting your ability to have inner strength and set those boundaries. But whatever, she was talking about how she still had to set her boundary. But look what happened, That's why some people don't set their boundaries or they let things just kind of go on and slide. But not in this time. Things are changing. It says come out the cave. Share your voice. Share your voice. And who cares about who has something about it? And the people that are gaslighting, fuck them, because they're going to be in their own confusion. And one day somebody's going to come and gaslight them when they're dealing with some bullshit. And then they're going to know how it feels. And then they're going to wish, wow, now I see a different perspective. I would be careful of allowing other people to force their illusion onto you. No. That's why it says trust your path. A lot of people may try to, oh, you should do this or you should do that or you shouldn't have done this. Okay, well, that's you and your ancestors. Me and mine over here, this is what I was told to do. And this is what I know what's right based on who I know that I am and the energy that my ancestors endowed me with. And I better not disrespect it by letting somebody else disrespect me, period. We're talking about legacy and honor as well, too. You know, certain individuals, they get in bed with certain people, or they give themselves up to certain people, or allow certain people to cross their boundaries, or allow certain things to go on and don't say anything. And they build up a whole bunch of resentment that starts to eat them up energetically. Or they concede or conform. Why? Clarify adaptability. Clarify adaptability. You got prayer and contemplation. Yeah. Connect with heaven. Asking you shall receive. Yeah. I feel like some of you guys too need to just pray for the strength. Pray for your solar plexus to be rehabilitated. Pray for some of these ancestral bonds and chains to be broken off of you. Pray for clarity around your actions and what you should do. Not everyone's going to agree with it. Just like not everyone agrees with all the different ascended masters that were tortured and things like that, and abused and sacrificing and all that type of stuff. But they still did the work anyways. They still set the boundary anyways. They still told the truth anyways. Because they were divinely guided to. Because they were ordained to. And because they had that over their head, look how they were able to then continue on. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's beautiful. Look how they were able to transform with the transformation card right here. Yeah, you're transforming at a cellular level. Bring the energy up. No, by burning it up with the fire of the solar plexus. I told you guys about this fire belly. Get into it. And that energy of the solar plexus will burn up all the impurities, will burn up all the fear, will burn up all the cords of attachment, all the generational programming, and transform your DNA. Staying in the same low vibrational energy, the same spiritual bypass will degrade your DNA. And then jumping into spirituality and all those different things, it's not going to help because you're going to keep on experiencing the same situation until you activate self and step into the power and wield that sword. It's going to keep on happening. Now, because you've gone through the transformation, it's in your energy field for people to know this is the line, this is the barrier. Sometimes they had to test that in you to bring it out, to activate the enzymes. We talked about this Hiroshima energy, to activate the nuclear energy. That is you. Clarify balance. Clarify balance. Clarify balance. Clarify balance. Lady Portia, divine order. Yeah. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding right now. The Miriam, sacred vision. You have sacred vision. Remember, I told you were ordained with different type of gifts and things like that. So why wouldn't the Most High ordain you with a spiritual protection or things like that to support yourself? Sacred vision. There's two sides. There's twins. There's two. So there's not just one way to have a vision. It's not just supposed to be all love and light, or it's not just supposed to be all, a gore and do whatever you want, which is low vibrational, like, satanic magic, devil stuff, all that type of stuff. It's supposed to be balanced and harmony. Yeah, you got Lady Portia, divine order, because it's divine order for it to happen just like this. To turn on your solar plexus chakra, because the ancestors are really right now. I will say this: there are forces. Some people don't know that we're currently like auditioning. If you kind of don't know, we're kind of auditioning right now, and there's okay, that makes a whole bunch of sense now because I had a dream about this. We're currently auditioning. Some people don't know that we're auditioning. They're telling me this right now. You guys are auditioning right now. Light Worker Academy, who gets to go into the next like level of the stuff to get deeper keys to the streets and spiritual protection, and get to set up like their next lifetime if they want to, or get to stop altogether, right? Get to go to different dimensions and do work over there too. Get to do all kinds of different stuff, and expand in your understanding of the reality, and be fully aware of the polar, not the polar body because it's you, but be fully aware of the etheric body that you can use and be more in control of in other dimensions simultaneously while you're in the physical. So they're like, there's tryouts right now. So we're seeing how these different situations are being dealt with right now so that we can see, do you deserve the keys to the streets for the next level? Are you going to care what people think, or are you ready for the keys? Are you going to be willy-nilly, or are you ready for the keys? Are you going to continue to repeat cycles of generational trauma and not break the chains, or are you ready for the keys? Because they're saying, well, at the end of this audition, you're going to get a Tesla. That's what they're saying right here. So it's like, some people don't even know they're auditioning, but some people, they have an intuitive feeling that they're being guided right here. And when they get to that gate and they're like, congratulations, here's your keys. Not only the keys to the streets, but you also get this vehicle, your upgrade of your Merkaba, which would be that Tesla, right? Think of something in the material world that's going to happen too. You're going to get it in 3 levels. Higher level dimension, 6D and up, 4D to 5D in the spiritual realm as well, and then in the 3D as well. All bases are going to be covered with these keys that you're about to get because you're going through your audition right now. And a lot of you guys have already passed. They're like, oh, bravo, that was great. That was great. Matter of fact, encore. Other people are going to realize that they were being tested, or there was an audition going, and they're going to realize that they did not pass the audition. And only then is it going to sink in that they chose the wrong key, or they chose the wrong initiation. Or they allowed the bypass to occur. That's what's going on right here. You've been auditioning. Some people are going to feel some type of way because they're going to feel like you got a cheat sheet. You knew ahead of time. You had an advantage. No, we all had the same choices. I just chose, this is the path that I wanted to go on. Yeah. Be that real light worker. Fight for something that makes sense. Be in my power. Not be in spiritual bypass. And because of that, I sent a signal to the universe that said, use me. I'm ready. I'm ready for the keys to the streets. I'm ready to hold it down. Okay, good. So you're going to get all this armor, all this different stuff. But, oh, you know what? You may go through another audition. But knowing you, if you pass the first one, you're going to get to go to the second one. Shit, who knows? If you do well, in this one, if you finish all the way up, you do really good, you won't have to even audition. We'll be calling you. We'll be calling you to play the role. Because that's how well you did it. That's what's happening right now. If I can give an example. Let me get into Kuan Yin right here because I feel like she has something to say to us. And I feel like this is going to be, I don't know, every time we get into her stuff, it's like, dang, we can go for a whole nother hour. Yeah. Let's keep it all the way real with this, what's going on here, this spiritual bypass and whatnot that we're talking about right now. Yeah. Auditions. How did you handle that situation? Oh, you knew. Because you know that, okay, things are going to be changing. You had an idea. You had an idea that the path is not linear. You had an idea to trust the next step. You had an idea to move a little bit slow. You had an idea. It's okay to be soft. You don't have to be vicious like the karmics or things like that. But it's also okay to set your fucking boundaries and stand your ground and not spiritual bypass. You had an idea that, okay, you know what? My guys are telling me to be counterintuitive than what I would usually do. I'm a little bit scared, but I'm going to take that leap of faith anyways. And because you did that, perfection. You passed. Congratulations. Yeah, ask for change. Because you asked for change. And you with the celebrate not knowing, you didn't know. You didn't know how it would come out on the other end. But you just trusted. As long as I set my boundaries and do what I need to do and say how it needs to set and just let the ancestors work through me and speak through me and all that stuff, I know I can't go wrong. I know I can't go wrong because I trust a higher power, higher source that's working through me, not the devil that's manipulative and a liar and just going to confuse me. And by the time the devil leaves with what they got, which is my soul, I look goofy. Or I've lost. Or I realize I auditioned for the wrong thing. Or that I was auditioning in the first place. You never know who's watching. Real talk. It says change the rules. Boom. You're changing the rules, or the rules are being changed right now. You know the astrology transits, regardless of how anybody feels about that, you are impacted by the planets, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, period. And you can't stop that. You can't change that. You can't manipulate that. No. No. Because your DNA, yeah, with the transformation card, you're changing on a cellular level, and with the DNA right there, the helix, yeah. And now your DNA has even excelled because of this. They're like, you're ready. Your bloodline is ready to continue surviving because we're taking out all the other bloodlines. People didn't know that that's what the audition is for. Whose bloodline gets to say, whose bloodline gets to leave. People didn't know how deep it was. But they're going to be finding out very soon. That's why it says change the rules. The rules have been changed. People didn't know. That's why they're going to be mad at you. You got a book. You had the rules beforehand. You cheated. No, I just decided to play my cards right. Yeah. By being in that real light worker energy, not practicing spiritual bypass, staying grounded and balanced. Let's see what Kuan Yin has to say. Dear bright and well living ancestors, what messages do you have? What messages do you have regarding what messages do you have regarding spiritual bypass and the audition? Yeah. Spiritual bypass and the audition. It says here the yellow tiger mother. Wee. It says reveal the peacock beauty. Okay. Then it says the threshold. Wow. 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 Start with 13 here. Here, the yellow tiger mother. Sometimes we must be strong and hold true while all us around us seems to be shifting and changing. Sometimes we must be strong and hold true whilst all around us seems to be shifting and changing. The yellow tiger mother, Kuan Yin, in her guardian role, is roaring her divine sound within you. She asks you to hear her, to remember that you are a powerful being of light. And even whilst you are in flaw with universal forces, your strong roots help you be at peace with your truth, standing your ground whilst your light shines true. Standing your ground whilst your light shines true. Isn't that what we just said? This whole entire reading summarized with just one card. The ancestors, guides, those who are the watchers, they're not playing. They see what you're going through. They know what's going down. They're reminding you you're not alone. They're sending you reminders in the dream state through other people, through numbers and things like that. Because remember, there's a net over the planet. So they just can't come to your house and knock on the door and be like, hey, I just wanted to let you guys know that we're helping you. We're watching you. You're currently auditioning. So just know that. No, they can't do that. They put a net over the planet. They calcified most people. They built concrete jungles. Then they put up Wi-Fi, which is another net. Skynet. So they're trying to get through us through other ways. But they're telling me to let you know you're auditioning right now. Brother Malcolm, you're auditioning right now. We're ready for the next level of the revolutionaries. Who's going to continue to carry the torch? That's what this is right here. And if you're not able to just fulfill the basics, which is wielding that sword when you have to, how can they use you in battle? You're afraid to use your sword. And you don't need any, and another thing, they're saying you don't need any sedatives or crutch outside of you to do it either. I know this sounds hella ratchet, but there's a rap song and it says, my shooter don't need a pill. My shooter don't need a pill. Yeah, the shooter doesn't need a pill to hit it up. Now, I don't condone that type of shit at all, but I hope you guys understand the analogy I'm trying to use because I know that there's different people of all different type of genders and races and cultures and age groups watching my channel. In our surrender to divine forces, there are times when we must be flexible and flow, and then there are times when the surrender is When the surrender is into holding strong and being true to our inner knowing. What is your inner knowing? Because a lot of you guys have an inner knowing, that intuition. You know something's coming. You know something's about to flip. You know something's about to change. And while you may feel consequences of doing something or setting boundaries or something like that, you already know that the ancestors are like, nah, 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 nah. We got you. This is the audition. Keep going. You're there. The yellow tiger mother sounds her roaring north within you. She is a fierce protective tigress, and yellow is her golden strength and wisdom, the solar plexus. Hear the yellow tiger mother, Sekhmet energy. Yeah, activating that solar plexus. A little bit of Kali Ma energy too is what I'm picking up here. She urges you to listen for her sound within and trust yourself. You know when you need to stand your ground and not be swayed. You are more powerful, strong, and courageous than you may realize. Your strength is not stubbornness or resistance. It is holding firm to what you feel in your heart to be true, and in time, you will come to realize the wisdom of your courage. People may say that you're a troublemaker, you're this, you're that. Fuck you. Because you don't have to deal with it. People don't rob empty houses. You don't have a crown, so people are not coming for your head. And when you don't have a crown, when people are not coming for your head, why the fuck are you telling someone how to react? You're not frontline. It's like Kendrick says, if you ain't frontline, get out the goddamn way. If you're not frontline to this war, get out the goddamn way. If you ain't frontline, get out the goddamn way. Come on, let's get into it. Your strength is at this time is needed for the collective, like a protective shield providing nurturing to a young plant. Your strength and your refusal to be dissuaded from your truths helps your dreams and higher path continue to manifest. Stay in your power. That's what they want, for you to be playing in your solar plexus chakra, going being indecisive, two of swords energy. Hell the fuck nah. Make a decision, stay with it. That's Aries energy, decisive. I've analyzed and I've made my complete decision to jump fully in. I've analyzed long enough. I've thought about it long enough. Now I'm going to fully jump in because I know once I jump in, it's going to be a tower. And I know where I want that tower to land. That's this right here. They're already telling you where the tower's going to land. Jump in anyways. Don't worry about it. We just need you to be the catalyst. Wow. Be brave and stay true to yourself. There you go. I'm going to say this prayer, quiet myself, and allow my own light to shine, to take root. Nurture me with your strength of spirit so that I might realize that I have your inner strength within me too. It is my strength, my courageous heart. Help me, beloved, now to realize my courage and have peace in my heart. I feel the roar of your courage and strength within me, and I realize that this is my own courage too. Thank you for helping me realize this, beloved tigress. Om Mani Padme Hum. We look at lions and tigers, they're cute-ass animals. We think of them as the kittens that we see in our house, domesticated version. Their little brother, little sister, their cousin, the domesticated version. Oh, cute. That's a cute kitty. Have you seen lions in action? Especially the women. The women are the hunters. When we really understand how lions, they do their dynamics, the women are the hunters. The male lions, they kind of watch from the periphery to when they're hunting in packs to see if they need help. But really, it's the woman that takes it down and they bring it home. This is Sekhmet energy right here. Tap in. Yellow tiger goddess as well as Sekhmet. Call on them. Work on your solar plexus chakra. Bring that fucking tower. Look. Reveal the peacock beauty. Number 24. The beauty of the peacock is breathtaking, with stunning lush color unfolding in graceful and proud display. You too are a great beauty, beloved. Within you resides a glorious divine being of beautiful light, with an ability to create as your divine birthright. The peacock beauty speaks to you of your creative energies rising to sublime, inspired new levels as you are accessing the power of your throat chakra for higher creation. Your intentions, decisions, and particularly your words are becoming more powerful. Enjoy the wise use of this growing creative potency to express the beauty within you, asking for divine blessing on all your plans, projects, and words. Your throat chakra is opening up. You need to speak it into the existence. And it was so funny because I put something up about language earlier on my board about if your DNA is not a specific vibratory match, the language won't manifest for you. I got royalty, got loyalty inside my DNA. Activate your throat chakra. That's why I say you're rising to new sublime levels. So when you speak, and you cast out demons and you identify demons and you speak onto them, when you call them by their name, they're going to have a reaction. Yeah, because they're melting by the light. When you speak into the reality perfection, like my boundaries cannot be crossed or else you will meet your demise. My energy cannot be used for willy-nilly bullshit or low vibrational activities, or individuals playing will see adverse effects. When you state that your energy cannot be used for others to manifest low vibrational realities and timelines and they will see adverse effects, it's going to manifest. Because that's the beauty of the peacock. As the soul grows spiritually, because you're about to pass the, what is this that we just talked about? The audition. Remember, you're getting that key. You're getting that Tesla, that new light body, that Merkaba. As the soul grows spiritually, the creative energies begin to rise from the sacral chakra in the hips and the pelvis to the throat chakra, where they can be translated into sound and made manifest. What once would have been more instinctual creativity or intuition becomes inspired and sublime, adding depth and healing energy to your creative expressions. Create through your words and actions. Say it and so it is. Period. That's what this is saying right here. It says whatever project, plan, or purpose you have been contemplating is in alignment with the higher creativity of your soul. Some of you guys may be afraid to release a certain project or certain information out. Because you're like, is this in alignment? Or is this going to cause a problem? Is this going to bring a tower? No, it's in alignment. That's exactly what they want you to do. That's exactly what they want you to do. And you need to do it. Let's go to the threshold. At the threshold you stand. Before you lies a way of being that is beyond fear. It is a sacred passing through a karmic veil into a new life of empowerment, peace, spiritual service to humanity, enjoying your own soul. The threshold. What did you have to battle and fight and destroy, though, to be at that threshold? You see what I'm saying? It's like when you're in Super Mario and you have to go through all those different levels and then you make it to Bowser. Okay, you've beat Bowser, then you're going to go to the next city. That's the threshold right there, right? But remember, you had to war. You just didn't get through the threshold by walking through. Remember, it says the path is not linear. Exactly. So just let it be known. You're walking through the threshold. Other people can never get to that threshold. They have no idea that there is even a threshold. And they're not going to understand it. And when you have to wave that sword of truth and deal with karmic energies, because it says right here, the karmic veil. You're passing through the karmic veil. And sometimes passing through that karmic veil means you have to destroy your enemies. Cast them out with your tongue. Identify them. Call them by their name. Only then can you get to the threshold. You think that some of the karmics that know about this threshold, because some of them know about this threshold, right? It's their minions, the low vibrational ones that don't realize that there's a threshold and that these karmics are trying to keep you from the threshold. That's why they join them in the first place, because they don't know that these karmics have no opportunity to get into that threshold. That's why they try to throw monkey wrenches and obstacles and things like that on your way to the threshold, but you still get there anyways. You pass the karmic veil because you had to wave that sword. You couldn't have done that if you were still in spiritual bypass, not standing in your power, not swinging that scythe. You needed that scythe to cut away all the karmic veils and all the karmic debris. You needed Regulus, the regulator, to come into you. Yeah, you had to bring Hiroshima to blow away the karmic veils. It had to happen to get to the threshold. Congratulations. You are embarking on a phase of deepest soul liberation into freedom of love that triumphs over fear. It has been quite a journey. Many, many lifetimes and much inner work has been required for you to be able to perceive the light of the divine, even underneath the density of fear. You are fast approaching the karmic threshold where you can shift from fear-based to love-based embodiment. Yeah. We shifted out of fear-based, not saying anything, going along just to go along, or acting irrational, which is also fear too. And let me attack them before they attack me, which is fear too. Low vibrational, childish, petty karmic behavior, which is fear as well. You're done with all that. Yeah, you're at the threshold now. It's been quite a journey, many, many lifetimes of our ancestors being disenfranchised, not being able to speak up for themselves, not being able to hear the yellow tiger mother that was calling them and calling them and calling them, or was deliberately silenced within them. This is a sacred and important time where it is wise to surround yourself with those that are able to support you in this love-based reality. In the near future, you will be able to sustain your vibration even amongst beings that are based in fear. And then you will be of even greater service to life, love, and divine power on this planet. What did I say? Didn't I say your whole auric field is going to get an entire upgrade? Karmics will be able to step into your field and they already automatically know this is not something that I'm going to play with. This is not a game that I'm going to even deal with, period. And you're helping them heal by understanding that, because by that, then they start to have respect. Okay, there's something, a different force working with this person. Let me have some respect. And by pondering that, then they start to ponder themselves and they will transform. You see how you're being of service to the planet? It's not about them. People pleasing other people. It's about you. What are you going to do? What are you willing to do? Tell me what you're willing to. Kiss it better, baby. What are you willing to do? Tell me what you're willing to. Kiss it better, baby. Yeah, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do for that audition? Shit, I'm not saying, I'm just being racket. Let me stop. What are you willing to do? What would you do for a Klondike bar? I don't know, because I've actually never even had a Klondike bar. Can you believe that? Even in my chubby girl days, I've never had a Klondike bar. That's kind of crazy. All right, let's keep on looking. This is a sacred and important time where it is wise to surround yourself with those that are able to support you in this love-based reality. A lot of people can't support you because they don't understand, like I said. That's why it says your tribe is coming together. Only few people may understand your battle and your fight and your path. Few people may understand. Few. And that's okay, because you and your guides understand. And then remember when it says change the rules? Now you've written the rule book over again. Now you have the keys to the streets, the new keys, so you can share with other people. Like, no, these are the new keys. Here, you guys get them. Now they don't get the keys. Even if they try to open the book to find out the keys, it's blank, it's empty. Yeah, they're not getting the keys because they didn't pass the initiation, the threshold. Just like I talked about, with certain languages will be invalidated with individuals trying to speak them. Yeah, that's how they're coded for preservation. Yeah. Certain languages, you try to speak them and you have no access, none of that, they will curse you. The language itself will curse you. There you go. There you go. For individuals trying to cross this threshold and they have no ability, or they try to block you from the threshold, that's what they're doing. They're cursing themselves. Come on. Yeah. For now, allow beloved Kuan Yin to help you connect to the beauty and potency, the love and fearless, endless joy of your own higher self. Do not be disheartened by old fears that are surfacing. You do not need to create a story out of them. You can just observe them with love and allow them to pass. It is just your inner self releasing any vibration which is not aligned with unconditional love. Sometimes there can be deep testing on the threshold. Deep testing on the threshold. Deep testing on the threshold. Deep testing. Because trust me, they'll try it. And you'll pass with flying colors. Because you already knew. And you didn't have the cheat code. But you already knew the karmic energies, the karmic veil is predictable. So this is how they're going to write the test. This is what the questions they're going to ask. I already know. So I pass with flying colors. It's like having a teacher for like algebra 1, and then you get the same teacher for algebra 2. And it's like, I already know what this is because they just tweak it just a little bit for each of the tests going throughout the whole entire semester. And you pass all of them with flying colors. You've hacked the code. For now, allow beloved Kuan Yin to help you connect to the beauty and potency, the love and fearless, endless joy of your own higher self. Do not be disheartened by any old fears that are surfacing, okay? Like I said, sometimes there will be deep testing on the threshold. This is not an exam to be afraid of, but an opportunity to realize your development and to really be secure on a firm inner spiritual foundation before moving forward in your soul service to others through how you live and be on this planet. It is no use in preparing to assist others on a higher scale in moving from fear to love if you are still making the transition yourself. Let yourself stabilize in the new vibration. Then your ability to help others will increase naturally with much grace, assistance, and effortlessness. Now I'm going to say something right here. Remember we talked about the audition? Yeah, and this is why I can give you guys the keys to the streets when it comes to all the gang stalking and spiritual warfare and all that stuff, because you clearly see I passed my audition. Yeah, and that's why they're mad. And that's why I can be of service here. And that's why you're going to be able to be of service to other people, because you passed your audition. You crossed the threshold. These karmics that claim that they can help other people cross the threshold, you clearly see they can't, because they themselves haven't even crossed it. So how can they help other people cross it? when they're still dealing with the outdated beliefs. They're not being talked to by the yellow tiger mother. And well done, beloved. There is much love and celebration in the spiritual world about this shift for you. Didn't I tell you? The audition, they're just watching, they're waiting. They're like, yes, you made it. Here's your keys. Here's your gift. Here's all that, the upgrade. Didn't I tell you that? Look at what it says right here. There is much love and celebration in the spiritual world about this shift because you're breaking generational chains and cycles within the mitochondrial DNA, which is connected to all the feminine ancestors in your bloodline, back to the very deep primordial waters on this planet. For those who are not hybrids. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? For those whose bloodline is older than 6,000 years old and were not created by, you know what? Let me just, that's what they're saying right here. Some people don't even know that because they're of that hybrid or reptilian energy. They just had the opportunity to be spliced. There's no such thing as being a part of the going passing the threshold, but they've already chosen their fate. Rednecks, hillbillies, Republicans, things like that, low vibrational individuals. That's what that is. Remember that the only defense ever needed, no matter what the apparent fear or threat, is unconditional love in the heart, which allows for compassion and detachment. Yeah. You are safe and you are quickening in your readiness to pass the threshold. Your journey is truly blessed. Your journey is truly blessed. You passed the threshold. You've crossed it. You passed your auditions. You made it. Can't no one tell you shit now. Yeah. There we go. So you all, let me get one more. Isis Wilson, my guys are like, you guys are getting spoiled today. Dear bright and loving ancestors, what messages do you have regarding spiritual bypass and crossing the threshold? I feel like this is one of the best readings. Look at, beloved initiate. There are times to surrender and let go, but there are never times to give up. Persist with your bold faith and inspired action until the impossible happens. Isis has the spirit of triumph and will never fail in her quest, no matter how bold or impossible it seems. Let her inspire you. Believe. Persist with your bold faith and inspired action until the impossible happens. Yeah, because the impossible is going to happen. You're auditioning. They're going to be like, okay, there's going to be a whole change in this whole power dynamic and this whole regime and stuff like that. And we're just testing people. We're giving auditions and not letting people know so that we can see who gets to really come to the new team. A lot of people are going to realize that they are not going to get to go to the new team because they acted a fucking ass and they didn't know that they were being tested. And that was the whole entire point. That's real integrity. What do you do when no one's watching? When you think you won't get caught. When you think you won't be held accountable. When you think you don't have to audition. All right, y'all, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for watching.